So that's where the budget went. Welcome to the Palace of Shadows. Not exactly the home of the Shadow King, as the name might make you think, but the Realm of Shadows does seem to be Stonekeep's version of either Hell or Purgatory. And hey, we got a different background tile set. Wow! Guess they finally ran out of excuses to use the Shargamines one.
Drake, listen to me. I have little time before he notices, and all my trapped power is being used to create this vision. Heed this warning, my champion. Trust those you know, but all is not as it seems. This place is but a shadow of what is real. And a shadow is a reflection.
I'm not sure why Thera talked about a vision, considering that I could only hear her. Maybe there was supposed to be an image of the actress playing her in the intro overlaid over the screen here. Anyway, lots of illusionary walls in this place, and you can definitely see the theme of reflections and shadows in this one. On the other side, I find the exact same room with the exact same set of bottles. And passing here causes this wall to close. Oh! Up ahead we have the first set of enemies in this level. Unlike the Gate of the Ancients, we're actually going to be doing some fighting in here. But Enigma got him before it got a good look at him. There we go! Flying skulls. Not only do they like to bash into you, but they can also shoot energy bolts at you, which seriously weaken your party. That can make them pretty tough enemies. Since you'll be getting weaker all the time, your blows will do less and less damage, while your resistance against them is weakened as well. In the wall here I find a blue yin symbol, or yang symbol. Kinda hard to tell when they're not black and white. We'll just bring that along and see if we can find something to complete the set. And here's the other type of enemy we're gonna come across here. Skeletons. Still at least as tough as the one we fought in Entrance to the Temple of Froggy. I'll chow down on a green mushroom since it cures the weakness that the skulls inflicted on me. And let's take the warhammer to this guy, because crushing weapons, heavy crushing weapons like this, do the most damage. My armor combined with the protective spells make it so this guy can't actually hurt me at the moment, which is a little pathetic, but it won't protect me from all the enemies here. And after a while he collapses, but the skeletons in the Palace of Shadows have a very unique trait. And he reassembles. Yeah. Let's hit him with the sphere rune, that does some crushing damage as well. If you don't pick up at least one of the 3 items that these skeletons drop, they will reassemble infinitely. There we go. I'll just grab the broadsword that it dropped, and now it won't assemble anymore. There's another way to easily fight these skeletons. A spoil spell rune powered up with a power 3 meta rune. That instantly reduces them to a punchable pile of bones, which also means they can't reassemble themselves. Unfortunately, that spell does consume quite a lot of mana, so it's not really doable to use this on all of the skeletons you come across. In fact, I'm just gonna run past these guys. Here we have a dark mirror, which you can step through to teleport somewhere else. Okay, I guess that was a little trip through Purgatory, and it teleported us into a completely different area of the palace. Lots and lots of long corridors. I think this level might actually be the biggest one in Stonekeep, but since a lot of it is straight walking, it doesn't take quite as long as some of the other levels we came across. This fairy rune is the same spell that is cast on Drake when he uses the Orb of Azrael. You can try casting it on your party members, but it doesn't actually seem to affect their attack speed. On we go.
Hey, what was that? What? I thought I saw something on the other side of that wall.
Yep, now that we no longer have Farley, we have Sparkle to point out these illusionary walls. And a very short skeleton comes walking our way, so let's back off. More and more skeletons. Stepping through that illusionary wall would have avoided this encounter, but I'm just gonna run past them anyway. There's no real advantage to fighting them. And there's plenty more where they came from. Never mind those guys. No luck getting through this shadowy barrier here. So let's move on and try again later. What's happening?
Greetings again. Have a moment. What do you want, Goblin? Bah. About time we spoke again. Then appear and we can do so. What are you doing?
It is time for us to join forces, Drake. As you may guess, it was I who saved you that dark day so long ago.
You? Why?
Bah, don't be such a fool. We can profit together.
And since neither of us trusts the other, we can venture without trouble. I don't think so.
I don't say this is an easy thing to do, but I have no reason to harm you. I helped you long ago.
Maybe.
And I help now. Khull-khuum must be stopped. I know this.
But why?
There are riches ahead. I can smell them.
I'm sure you can. Very well. Join us.
Oh, I already have.
Yeah, you can definitely tell we're heading into the end game because now Wooka has joined our party. He has the highest possible health in the game, 240 hit points. And his other stats are quite good as well, though they don't really matter because all he does is toss little firebolts. Unfortunately, unlike Sparkle, he doesn't cast any other spells on your party. Wooka's just looking out for himself, apparently. It is a little sinister to have him join your party, since Lady Ayane warned that he might be more than he appears to be, but the entire last part of the game starts to speculate on how Wooka might be more dangerous than he appears. Never mind that for now, he's now a member of our party, so let's focus on our enemies. Lots and lots of winding corridors, disappearing doors. Palace of Shadows is pretty hard to get your head around. Once you've mapped it out a bit, it starts to make a little bit more sense. Also, lots and lots of friggin' skulls everywhere. Oh, speaking of skulls. They seem to hit each other just as much as they hit me, but I definitely want to avoid them as much as I can. Oh. Can't hit me now. They sure do make a lot of noise, though. I'm sure you have absolutely no idea where I'm heading right now, but I'm heading northward again. Another pair of tiny little skeletons. Back to the area where I picked up the blue yang symbol. Alright, let's go toe-to-toe with some of these skulls then. Ooh! They are doing some damage against me. I'd better run. And I jump through another dark mirror. This one doesn't lead to a lot of whimpering and whining by spirits. Instead, it drops me off at the exact opposite point on the other side of the map. The mirrored area, if you will. And the enemies on this side are slightly different from the ones on the other half. But we'll meet those in time. Here in the wall, we find a red half of a yin-yang symbol. So let's see what happens when we combine the two. Strange sound from the left, and a door has appeared. There we go. And of course it disappears as soon as we step through it. Oh well. Gotta make sure I'm rid of all weakness. What's that sound? Oh dear!
Mortal fools! You dare think you can free my little family? Begone!
Oh! That hurts. And that's the sort of encounter you can't actually avoid. You definitely don't want to have Drake too weak in this encounter, otherwise the push can kill him. Of course, khull-khuum is gone. The corridor doesn't lead anywhere, so let's just keep going. Oh, that is one heck of a big orb. How are we going to get this out of the way? Well, remember a little rune I found in the sewers? Which I got by opening a chest with a key I got from Wooka, who said it was the key to our future. Well, that finally pays off here. Using the shrink rune lets me pick up the orb.
I can feel the power in this orb. Strength is running up my arms. I've been given the strength of Mari himself.
Are you in danger?
Nay, friend. The feeling is good. The strength is righteous.
Your aura glows stronger.
We must proceed with caution now. I feel this is a critical time. We must go quickly to Thera's temple and free the orbs. Khull-khuum must have planned for this to happen, and I do not think he would be so forgiving of our intrusion after this point.
So, we have Marif's orb. One of the last orbs we find, actually. Switch in this wall opens the way back into the rest of the palace, and the same thing over here, so you can pass from one half of the palace to the other. Let's proceed down this crossway first.
Drake, over here!
Wait,
Drake, over here!
that voice. Can't be.
Farley, I thought you were Uktagon, banished from your people.
I was. I traveled to Chok-Higoth, the Dwarven capital, and made my peace with the elders as is our tradition. They absolved me, and I was no longer an Uktagoth, but Farley Malastone once again.
Then what brings you here?
Couldn't let a friend down. And besides, this time I got permission. I spoke with the Queen, Iani. You are summoned to her side.
Really?
Truly, this is great news.
Nuh-uh, I don't want to go. You need me.
Don't worry, Farley is here. He can help us. Correct?
Aye, that is my duty.
I can't wait to see my friends again. That is, my other friends, Drakey.
I understand. Return home in Thera's safety.
I'll see you again someday. Toodaloo.
Good to have you back.
There's a job to finish, and I'm good at finishing what I start.
Right. Farley, this is Enigma. An honorable...
Elf, I can see.
Drake has spoken favorably of you, dwarf.
And I speak favorably of Enigma. He has earned my trust, like you have.
Drake's trust is enough for me. Well met, Enigma.
Well met, Farley. I wish it was a different place.
Agreed to all. Let us journey on, shall we?
So, if you hated Sparkle, you can be happy now because Farley has returned to our party. With slightly better stats, in fact. It's hard to tell, but his journal entry is slightly different from last time, and all his stats have gone up a bit. But he's still the best there is with a hammer, so let's give him the War Hammer. And put the golden chainmail armor that we found in the ice caverns on him. Plus some magic armor rings, of course the magical shield, and one of those helmets that come off the skeletons. There we go, now he's outfitted for battle. I don't want to ruin anything, but the first time I came here and Farley rejoined my party, I actually thought it was going to turn out to be some kind of imposter. It's just kind of weird how he somehow managed to reach the Palace of Shadows before me, and not to mention how he just dismisses Sparkle like that. But nothing like that is going to happen. The Stonekeep team really just wanted to reunite you with all of your favorite guys. At least now we have a melee fighter with us again. Most of the enemies we come across here like to get in your face. So all ranged fighters aren't going to do much good. But I am going to miss Sparkle's spells, the healing spells and the armor spells. Those were pretty nice. Incidentally, forgot to mention this, but picking up Marif's orb added 2 more points to my strength, nearly maxing it out. Also, carrying his orb has made me almost impervious to weakness effects. Oh, let's run. My party actually isn't too bad at dealing with these skulls. Oh well. Here we have another illusionary wall. With a sign. Well, neither Enigma nor Wooka is volunteering a translation, so let's use the reading rune.
Light and darkness form together. Form my strength, form my shape.
If you remember from the Gate of the Ancients, I read a sign there that said a weapon was hidden in the shadow. Well, we just found it.
There is a mighty weapon in the making.
Bah, it is worthless without its mate, that is. Do you want to trade it?
An ancient relic. Use caution.
So right now this just appears to be some kind of weird little cross thing. We need to find the other half, and it only makes sense that we would have to go to the exact other side of the map to get it. And of course there's another illusionary wall here and another sign on the wall.
I am of darkness and light, and together with my twin form the weapon of Twilight, the weapon of shadow. Fear me. Fear my powers. Shaped as shape can be.
Shaped as shape can be? Really?
I wonder what will happen when we bring both pieces together.
Proceed with care.
Bah, put it together. It must be very magical.
I agree with the elf. But I am myself curious.
Well, let's just put it on the pedestal. And there we have it, the Weapon of Shadow, or Twilight Weapon, whatever. It continually morphs into 5 different forms, and you can pick one depending on which weapon you have the best stats for. It turns into an axe, a sword, a spear, a dagger, and a hammer. I'm just gonna grab the sword. I have pretty good stats for that. It's a very heroic weapon. And there's one other thing of interest about it. It's the only 2-handed sword in the entire game. And for once they actually made a separate animation for that. See? 2 hands on the sword. Even though the sword still looks like any other. I mentioned that the enemies on this side of the level are slightly different. They are shadow versions of the ones found in the other half. It doesn't change that much, except that they don't leave behind any skulls, and they're susceptible to different types of weapons. Of course, that doesn't really matter now that I have this shadow weapon, because absolutely every enemy is weak to it. Just 1 or 2 blows will kill any enemy I come across now. Pretty sweet. Alright, let's proceed down this shadow version of the level. Everything in this level is mirrored on the other side, including chests. So let's stock up on potions.